Welcome to the Eclectic Thrifter and Crafter, where we thrift and craft with purpose. It's Tea Tuesday, or in my world, Crafty Tuesday. Pour yourself a cup of tea, and we are in for a treat of a project today. I hope you'll enjoy. Hello. Well, today our project surrounds this beautiful 1950s made in Japan tea set. It is a set for 6. The only thing missing is the underplate for the tureen. So now I'm on a scavenger hunt on eBay or maybe in the thrift shops for the soup tureen base. Here is a sample of what the original packaging looked like. This is from a eBay store called Oddly Kitsch. And if you'd like one of these sets, there you go. Now you know where you can find one. I think this is absolutely lovely, and I've always wanted one. This pattern is Blue Willow. I purchased this at a local thrift shop on New Year's Eve, and they were having a big 50% off sale. I paid $24 for this. I saw it in the glass case weeks before, and it was $49. So now my scavenger hunt begins for an underplate. I think that soup tureen is absolutely charming. No chips, no cracks in the entire set. And all 6 plates, all 6 saucers, and all 6 cups are with the set. I would like to find a child's set of flatware to put in the drawers, but I'm very happy with this. We're going to put the beautiful china away, and I'm going to share with you what the project is for today. And I'm going to be packing about 16 hours worth of work into roughly about 18 minutes. So let's move on, and I'm going to share what the project is, and then we're going to head down to the garage and get started. Okay, so this beautiful jewelry cabinet I paid $14.99 for, less 20% off because I had a coupon. And I thought it would make a beautiful china cabinet for our tea set. I was thrifting with my second oldest son, and I was telling him that I was looking for a little corner cabinet for the tea set, and I nearly tripped over this, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is it. So here we go. I'm removing the glass to be on the safe side during the repurposing project, but at the same time, I'm not very fond of the design of the glass. I don't really want the etching on it, and I don't want the stained glass look that it was given. So I'm going to cut some glass in just a little bit, and we're going to replace it with clear glass, just like a normal china cabinet would have. That mirror in the back was glued down fast. I thought there was a little bit of movement in there, but not enough. So it ultimately is going to be broken out. I wanted to save it, but I just couldn't because it was glued in there in that one spot. I just dampened the remainder of the cardboard and scraped it free with the razor blade. If you're going to use water, just make sure you dry the wood thoroughly as soon as you're done. I have a little handheld Bissell that I use in the garage. It travels between the craft room and the garage. This way I don't run any risk of vacuuming up nails or needles in the household vacuum cleaner. We have one of the HVACs that are in the walls, so I always use this little vacuum cleaner to do a precursor vacuum before I use the normal vacuum cleaner, in case I vacuum up nails or buttons or anything like that. It all goes into the little Bissell. So now I'm just cutting the shelves for the china cabinet. It's just scrap wood from our build. And then we're going to stain it. That's going to work quite nicely. We're going to strip the drawers because we're going to line those with velvet at the very end. I loved this jewelry box the minute I saw it because it struck me as being very reminiscent of a 1940s Duncan Fife china cabinet, or maybe a Thomasville or something, and I was just in awe that I even ran across it. It was totally an accident because it was on the bottom shelf and I was turning the corner and there it was. And I even put 2 little items back just so I could get this. And I'm so glad I did. This wood finish I'm using because it's what I have on hand. The one on the right is what I've been using for the build. I started out using the Minwax, but it has a little bit of a red tint to it. That's why I had to redo all my floors last spring, because they came out red and not dark oak. I love using the Pledge repairing oil on wood items that I bring home from the thrift store. I used it on the tea cart if you saw that restoration video. I also used it on the china cabinet that I have all of the uranium glass in the craft room. There's a video for that as well. I don't strip anything, I don't have to restain anything, I just use the restoration oil whenever I bring something like this home. And it is perfect. So I would encourage you to get some and use that, and you'll find out that you can rejuvenate just about any wood piece with that restoration oil. I do have a fan set up at the end of the workbench, and that's where I put everything, and I put a box behind it to catch the wind so it circulates all around everything, and so I leave it be for 24 hours. Now this glass cutter was one of my purchases. I shared that with my little haul on Sunday. My glass cutting skills need to be revived, but I did manage to do this successfully on my own. There are little rough places, but I can sand those out later. With this wonderful little glass cutter, the handle fills with the oil and it disperses the oil as you're cutting the glass. And there we are. We have our 2 new glass doors. I did go ahead and choose to scrape the stained glass effect off of this. So I do have the etched. I set them side by side, but I decided for this piece I would like to keep the clear glass. And I'll use that glass if I ever find another jewelry case, and I can make one for a craft fair. Now we're going to make a plate rail. I was originally going to run the plate rail all the way across, but I changed my mind, and you're going to see why in just one moment. Because if I hang the cups there, they won't go past the plate rail. So I cut the plate rail in half. How I spaced the china so that there was just enough room to put everything in. Post-it notes were perfect because then you could peel away a couple layers to adjust it just so that each piece fits perfectly. And I needed to make sure I had room for the cups. And there we are. There's our plate rail for where the plates go. I just wiped that to glue off, add a little oil, and we're back in business. See, I don't mind having that one shelf rest on the top of what's below because I have given myself enough space using the post-it notes. This is the little hanger for the necklaces, and I'm going to have to cut that down and repurpose it to make the hangers for the cups. So I have to saw this top off and make a few more adjustments before I put it back in. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to oil a nail and put it right down the center, and then fill that center with hot glue to create a hole for the screw. And I'm even going to have to cut the end off of the screw so it doesn't pierce the roof of the china cabinet. So I did nip the end of that screw off, I just don't show you that. I'm going to clip 2 of those off. In this way, I have room for adjusting the cups, and there's not going to be anything in the way. And I can swing that around and swing it back to take the cups off and put them back on. And there's nothing scraping the back of the china cabinet. I super glued 3 washers together and added it to the top of the little rack so that I had enough clearance for the cup handles. I think it was a better option to repurpose the necklace hanger rather than trying to install 6 separate hooks. If you do make one of these, I would suggest that you use the necklace hanger that comes with the jewelry cabinet. Once again, I'm using a section of Post-it note to give me enough clearance to move the cups in and out. Now I'm getting ready to put my little supports on each side of the shelves. Okay, so everything was level, and now we're going to be getting ready to put on the doors and install our glass. Now we're back in the craft room, family room, / computer room / college advisor and proofreader lounge. So we're going to line the drawers for the china cabinet. I'm just taking cardboard from cereal boxes and cutting it down, and then I'm going to score them and fold them. I'm using a pizza cutter to score them. Now my vision is beginning to come together. I know it looks like I'm a little heavy-handed with the glue. I can be that way, but this particular glue that I have is the tacky glue, but this one is quite thick. Remember, when you take out the insides of your jewelry box, to keep the parts, because you're going to need them as templates when you're ready to line the drawers. You can see everything fits quite nicely, and I'm very happy with the results. The drawers turned out beautifully. The cups fit in just perfectly, and the little plates stack very well against the little plate rail. And the larger plates on the bottom, and hopefully I can find that underplate. I hope you've enjoyed this project and are inspired to make a little heirloom of your own. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like and subscribe, and tapping that like button helps the algorithm share my channel. I welcome your thoughts and ideas and comments below. Please share my thrifting and crafting channel with your thrifting and crafting friends. Check us out on Instagram and tap that notification button for upcoming announcements of thrifts and crafts. But most of all, have a lovely, lovely day.